Hello there, welcome to T-Sam Music Podcast. My name is Mel, and today I'm going to talk about two gigs that I've been to previously. First of all, this is the first episode of the year, but the first two gigs I'm going to start off with are the last gigs I went to last year. So starting off with Lucy Pottinger at Northeast Volume Music Bar. The second one is XFest, which was at Ku Stockton, which was a kind of a 5-band showdown. So I'm gonna go into details about them, talk about them, like I do every week. So yeah, let's get to it. So, like I said, the first gig I'm talking about is Lucy Pottinger at Northeast Volume Music Bar. This was on the 28th of December and featured the support from Joe and the Hyperbolics. I was a bit mixed on this gig. There's a few things I think that could have been done a lot different, and we'll get into that. But overall, I did enjoy the three performers. So yeah, let's get into it. So the first act was Joe. I walked in the venue as Joe was playing, saw him have his band out, so on. Basically, as goes every week in Northeast Volume Music Bar, I go in, show them my ticket, get my wristband, go and enjoy the music. When I walked in, the first thing I kind of noticed is the room looked packed. So I was like, I'm going to try and get as close to the stage as I possibly can get here. So I made my way through, and I realised that there wasn't really anybody stood near the stage area. Everybody was kind of just crammed in near the bar, which was kind of strange for me, because the bar area is a very kind of small sort of area. So I'm not really sure why those people weren't spread out a bit more or whatever. But I think it's mostly because I think most of the people were there to catch the second band, the Hyperbolics. I think that's what the large majority of the crowd were there for. More about that when I start talking about them. But Joe now. So yeah, it was a decent set. I think it went on a bit longer than a support act should, like an opening act really. Because I got in there like past. He about just after past. He finished about 20 past. So I don't know. I think that's a bit long for a opening act. Keep your long set for your headline slots. What makes them a bit more special. And there was a few moments where like he played like a song, then he realised he forgot the lyrics and moved on to the next song. And as somebody in the crowd, that's kind of like not fun to watch. But overall, it was a cool set. It was like a mix between covers and the originals. I enjoyed the covers he did, and the ones he knew the lyrics to anyway. And the original songs I like to hear more released, because he's got that song Jenny Moves Slow, which I'll play in a bit, which I quite like. He played it twice slow, which I thought was a bit odd. He said it was to give the song a bit extra promotion. A bit of a strange choice, but he was on stage enjoying themselves, and I think a few people in the crowd, the ones that were paying attention, enjoyed it as well, because what was a bit of a loud crowd considering it was an acoustic act on stage. And there's people like me that basically pay to watch the bands. Do you know what I mean? It's I pay money for this kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, overall it was good set. It was a pretty cool set. Joe will also be playing soon at Northeast Volume Music Bar again, supporting end credits on. I've got the details here. The 13th of January, alongside Senor Pink. So that's Joe, Senor Pink, and end credits. So the 13th of January. I've got my ticket for that one. I'm really looking forward to it. No doubt I'll be talking about that as well. But yeah, the next band, the Hyperbolics, were on now. So this was their first ever gig, from my understanding. very very young band members, um, in the teens, maybe. What I think a couple maybe been in maybe about 20, 19 maybe. I'm not really good at guessing people's ages, um, but overall, individually they're all very very talented. They played a bunch of covers. I think a couple of originals. I'm not entirely sure if they were originals or just covers I've never heard before, and they never really specified that. Um, but overall, it was a really cool set. My only thing about the Hyperbolics is I don't think this was the gig for them, because we had like two acoustic acts, never shot in between these acoustic acts. Clearly a band who were of rock influence, so it was a kind of a bit of a weird squeeze for them in the middle of the thing. And obviously, I think, like I said, they brought in a large majority of the crowd who made their way to the front when they played, and most went home after they played, um, which was a shame for the other two acts as well. And if it didn't sell as much, they could have put like tables out for the acoustic acts, and it could have been another candlelit sort of like gig that they've had on a few times before. So I think that the fact that so many people left kind of ruined the vibe for the headline act, I think, which is kind of a shame. It just wasn't the band's fault. Everybody was there. There was like a lot of proud parents, proud friends watching the friends play the first ever gig. I mean, I've been there myself, playing my first ever gig, that kind of thing. But like I said, it's my podcast now. I need to be honest with these kind of things, and I think this wasn't the gig overall for them, because it was two acoustic acts. They need to be on with some rock bands that way. If they do bring a lot of people, they can't talk over that band, because it's a rock band. They can't, the style of the band would suit their style a lot more. The bands would complement them a lot more. And speaking of that, I've got another gig here, Dog Counters, which Hyperbolics will be supporting alongside Dinky Bossetti. That's on the 28th of January in North East Volume Music Bar. Now, I think this gig is more style. I think it's going to be a better gig for them. But if I was going to give the Hyperbolics a bit of advice here, if they don't mind, if they are listening, of course, would be to also, if you can stick around, do that for Dog Counters, because Dog Counters are the type of band who would do the same for you. I've seen the performance myself with them. I've seen them stick around and show endless support for the other acts. So my advice to Hyperbolics, for a new band, obviously you want to go out there and put on a good impression. And I think if some of you stuck around, obviously if you kind of know a lot of your members are very young, would be to do so. Like I said, it's just a suggestion, but Dog Counters are a very good band. I've never seen the what do you have a band called again? Let me just double check that. Dinky Bossetti. I've never seen them before, but I am very keen on checking them out. So maybe at this gig, we'll see. But yeah, the band themselves, like I said, they played a bunch of covers, played them well. I like the bass player; she sounded fantastic. I like the drummer; he was all over the place. He was just so advanced. I don't know how old he is, but he seems so advanced on drums. Very good guitarist, loads of really cool kind of guitar riffs there. The singer's got a very strong voice. I think the singer's the type of singer who can probably switch between pop and rock. So when you do start releasing more of your own stuff, that's something to think about there. The kind of genres that, because she did sound like she has quite a decent vocal range. But overall, great set. It was good to see so many people enjoying them. Obviously a lot of proud parents and stuff like I mentioned. But moving on now to the headline act. Actually, before I move on to the headline act, I know what I want to point out as well is before the Hyperbolic started, some young lad went on stage and introduced him, which I thought was kind of a cool touch. But if it's a gig you're not headlining, maybe word it a bit different. Because he said it's the act that everybody's looking for. You say that if they're headlining, because imagine if you're like, if you were headlining and the band before you said, "Oh, he's the act that you're looking for." It's not going to be a good thing to hear. So my thing was put yourselves in other bands' positions as well. Because for Lucy, even the words is a band that you've all came to play here, and she hasn't played a headline set yet. It wouldn't have been a nice thing to hear. That makes sense. But the guy was cool. Like he came on, he did a very good job. I just think he could have reworded that a bit. If you ever do headline a gig and you decide to go forward with the introductory kind of thing, tell them to save that line. The band you're all looking forward to for for headline slots. There was also like one last song chant, and I think encores should only really go to the headline act as well. Because like I said, it makes your headline feel a lot better, bigger. So like when you start like headlining gigs, which I absolutely think you will one day, obviously very talented enough, these are things you need to save for those headline gigs, because it makes the headline gigs feel a lot more special. But yeah, overall I wish you the best of luck in the world, and hope you absolutely kill it at dog counters and have a good night. So yeah, Lucy Pottinger now. She also played like a mix between originals and covers. I do like a lot of her originals. I like to hear more and more of them. The covers she picks are very well chosen covers. But yeah, like I said, it would have been a lot better if it was just like 3 acoustic acts for her and for the night overall. Not that I had anything against seeing Hyperbolics. I did enjoy what they did, but I would have enjoyed it more if the whole gig was their kind of vibe. But it would have been better if the table sat out 3 acoustic acts for her. It would have given her kind of headline slot a lot more meaning as well, a lot more kind of power to the headline slot. Because she, like I said, she sounded great. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of her shows in 2024. So yeah, about that gig, that's pretty much all I can really say about that gig, really. I'm not sure if Lucy's got anything coming up yet soon, but I'll keep an eye on that as well. And yeah, so that was Joe. That was the Hyperbolics and Lucy Pottinger. So what I'm going to do now, the Hyperbolics don't have any songs on Spotify yet, so I'll have to skip them here. But I'm going to play a song by Joe and a song by Lucy, so enjoy that. So now moving on to Ku Stockton for XFest. This gig took place on the 29th of December and featured 5 bands. Shakk, End Credits, Gone Tomorrow, ZELA, and We Tibetans. Yep, it was a gig I was looking forward to because there's 3 absolutely big acts there. So I got there nice and early, make sure I didn't miss anybody. When I got there wasn't really anybody in the venue. I got there like the woman behind at the entrance, the tickets. She looks at me, your mark, aren't you? I was like, yeah, it's cool. Obviously show my ticket as well. But like I got in there, it wasn't really many people in there to start off with. I looked around and the first 2 people I saw in one of the kind of booths at the end was Kaylin and Nave from the Sport Act podcast. Now if you do listen to their podcast and you've listened to their XFest episode, they do mention that we've seen each other before. But we always end up like walking past each other and stuff. We didn't really kind of know each other. Like there was Pale White recently, and I saw them as I was going towards the Gathering Sounds. I was walking towards my first ever band, and I think they were walking towards a Georgian kind of area. So it was like in the middle of the street, but pretty much where Barnacles is in Stockton. So it was like halfway for the venues kind of thing. But yeah, it was really cool to meet them. I had a good conversation with them. Lovely, down to earth people. If you haven't checked out the podcast, check it out. It's called the Support Act Podcast. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm always sharing the episode and stuff like that, so you can find the links and stuff there, and links to their kind of Instagram page itself. They are on Twitter as well, but I don't think they use it that often. I only use Twitter for my personal account, really. Well, sorry, X. But yeah, like I said, it was really nice to meet them. I looked around and I started talking to other people around. There's more people, like I was talking to Shakk, Sam and Shaw, who everyone knows as a promoter of Teesside and plays bass for ZELA. My friends Mark and Cheryl Belair, I had a good conversation with them. So there was a good number of people there. There was a lot of people who didn't turn up to this one because there was also a gig in Middlesbrough the same night in the chapel in Middlesbrough, and they also had like 5 bands on. So, we're not short of options at the moment, which is, as a fan, you do like. But yeah, let's start off with the first act. So the first act was Shakk. It got pushed back a bit, which mostly happens quite a bit in Cuba when, stopping my energy drink there. You've heard that. When like there's not many people there and stuff like that, especially when there's like 3 people ready to watch the bands and the other bands. But Shakk played. I think Shakk just wanted to get on with it, start playing. And once he did, more and more people kind of came through. More people turned up to watch, enjoy a good night of music. Shakk was. I always enjoy Shakk. It's not the music I would really listen to on my playlist, that kind of thing. But I love watching Shakk live. Like he's such a good performer. The energy, everything he has on stage, it's so cool. Like he's such a cool person. Proper nice person to talk to as well. Like he absolutely loves the Northeast scene. There's probably a lot of bands that he plays. He bigs up, like he probably, it's not really his thing as well, but he is very good at getting bands out there. It's probably one of my favourite things in the Teesside music scene at the moment. Shakk's, but what Shakk kind of delivers, that kind of like positive voice over everything. But Shakk was so fun. It was so cool. It was nice to see more and more people come in and enjoy his set throughout it. And there was one guy I was seeing in a few Shakk gigs who was, he knows all the lyrics and all that, which I loved seeing. So the second act there was end credits. The thing I like about end credits now is we can stop calling them end credits, formerly known as White Noise. We can just call them end credits now. That's who they are now, the end credits. White Noise is history. It's end credits. But end credits like probably one of the best kind of alternative rock bands in Teesside at the moment. But they've released like a fantastic debut album last year, at the back end of last year. So it was good to see him on this gig, on this lineup. They did get named in the top 20 singles that what's it called, that the Sport Act kind of nominated them for, which I thought was kind of cool. I voted for end credits, by the way, in that one, so no, but that was really cool. Really cool to hear. But it was a really cool set. They played a lot of the favourites, some new. It was the first time I've seen them as a free. No, actually, not. They didn't play as a free piece. What am I talking about? Um, they had Joe from Providence. That's right. They had Joe from Providence playing. Don't know what happened in my mind there. Yeah, Joe did a fantastic job. He's a really good guitarist. If you've ever seen Providence, check them out. More about them in a bit because there's an end credits Providence gig coming up very, very soon. But yeah, end credits. Always enjoy seeing them. The singer Cameron, like I think he's got one of the best minds in like the music scene right now when it comes to the musicians. I think he's very good at getting himself out there. He's very good at promoting the stuff. He knows how to react to the stuff around him. Um, excuse me. But yeah, it's really cool to see someone like that. And yeah, um, but end credits. Have a look. I've got 2 gigs coming up very soon. I've got a headline gig. I've got it up here at North East Volume Music Bar on the 13th of January. This is one I've already talked about. I'm going to talk about it again. Because Joe, who I talked about earlier on, is supporting, along with Senor Pink, and obviously end credits. A funky new logo on that poster. I know they're called end credits, so I can read it. But I'm not entirely sure if you will be able to read it if you don't know what they are. So I might try and put that to the test. I'll show people at work tomorrow. Can you read this and see what they say? But I can from my point of view, I can definitely see what that says. But yeah, they've also got a gig coming up, which I forgot to get bloody details for. So let me just get Providence's Instagram up for the details on that gig. There we go. So it's 4 bands. It was an early price of £3. It might have gone back to £5, but I imagine that's sold out now. I'm not 100% sure, but check it out for yourself. But Providence headlining, along with end credits. Also 2 other bands, Mascara's Lies and Guilty Pleasure. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. I've seen Guilty Pleasure once. I think they played a bunch of covers. So I'm hoping, they'll be playing some originals. I'd like to hear that because they do seem a very, very talented band. Mascara's Lies, I've seen them. I saw them 6 times last year. Twice was at the bloody Pit Market, and once was an acoustic set. So I thought that was really cool to see them on this lineup. It'd be cool to see them playing the Georgian as well. It'd be cool to see all these 4 bands playing the Georgian because Providence and Incred, I saw a bit at the Georgian last year, playing this massive gig with the Collectors and Gone Tomorrow. Absolutely, that was a fantastic night of live music. But yeah, that would be a cool gig. That's 2 end credit gigs coming up. So hopefully I'll see every one of them because I'm more likely will be at the Providence one, but I'll definitely be at the end credits headline one because I've already got the ticket. But yeah, moving on to Gone Tomorrow. Gone Tomorrow, another band I saw 6 times last year. Yeah, I saw them play the first ever gig at North East Volume Music Bar. So it's been pretty awesome seeing them grow over the years, as musicians, and the music just getting better and better and better. The performance is always very energetic. Obviously, very talented individuals. I love the singer's kind of style. The way he sings, it's really cool. But yeah, like I said, I think they're a top tier band. I think alongside end credits at the moment in the Teesside area. And all the people seem to really, really kind of enjoy the set as well. People started getting having a few drinks at this point. Obviously, it's just a post-Christmas gig as well, so people were slinging them back a bit, having a good time dancing and stuff at this point. Which I thought, yeah, good on good on Gone Tomorrow there. I'm not sure if Gone Tomorrow have any gigs coming up. Let me just get the Instagram up. Yep. I think they have got something announced, but I just can't think what it is. um, oh yeah, that's right. It's on the Any Volume page. Here we go. They're going to be supporting Reverend and the Makers' DJ set featuring John McClure. I assume that's his singer's name. Alongside We Tibetans. So We Tibetans and Gun Tomorrow will be playing North East Volume Music Bar on the 2nd of February, supporting a DJ set from John McClure from Reverend and the Makers, which I'm sure will be a fantastic night. More about We Tibetans soon. But yeah. I don't know if I'm going to this one yet. Maybe we'll see. But yeah, let me just have a look at how much the tickets are for this one, because obviously it's Reverends and Makers, so it's not going to be the average price. So it's £12 advanced, 15 on the door. So if you imagine that's going to sell fast, so if you plan on going to this, get yourself a ticket ASAP. But yeah, moving on to ZELA now. Yeah. Before I started, I saw the set list. I had a look over the set list, and it looked absolutely stacked to me. Like, full of all these songs I'm being made more and more aware of as gigs kind of go on. ZELA are always a band I really enjoy. Great energy, and the songs have great meanings, that kind of thing. It's obviously like singing about certain topics from a point of view. But yeah, it was really cool to see them on the Ku stage, just doing their thing, really. They started off with Sleep Real Bad, which is a favourite of mine, which is actually the song that introduced me to ZELA. So for that, it kind of actually feels like that song is the perfect opening song for them. Just the way it starts, do you know what I mean? And the catchiness of the chorus, it definitely is a song that commands you. Come listen to us. This is who we are, kind of song. But yeah, I had a lot of fun watching these. There was a couple of drunk people next to me. Kept trying to get me to dance with them, which was kind of funny. There's one of them who was like, I've had the same conversation with her like every time I see her at a gig. She always like ask me if I know the Pernells. Then I tell them I'm in a band with a singer from the Pernells, and she goes, "Oh yeah, I saw yous." And we've had this conversation about 5 times or something. It always makes me laugh. But yeah, ZELA, so cool as always. They look awesome. They sound awesome. They are awesome. I think they're like one of those bands, like might be a bit of a Marmite band, because I think I can see why some people may not enjoy what they do, because it is a very kind of like a different kind of style to what's going on. What else is going on in the kind of rock scene? So I can imagine people enjoying it for the uniqueness of that, or people not enjoying it because it's not really their thing. I can see both sides of that, but fortunately I'm on the side of I bloody like this band. But yeah, another fantastic ZELA set. I'm not sure if they've got anything coming up. Let me just have a quick look at the Instagram. Maybe they're supporting someone, or I'm not sure if they've been announced forward. Maybe they are on Stockton Call, and I've double checked that. I'm not 100% sure on that. It sounds right. They've got the stats up. Now I couldn't really see anything there. Just a bunch of pictures of them, and I think Spotify stats. No, I don't know where I got that from, but they haven't been confirmed for Stockton Call either. Just in my mind there, like I was just thought, have they been confirmed for Stockton Call as part of the first announcements? but apparently I was wrong. So there's that. Who knows if they are going to confirm? Maybe they'll be confirmed in a second or third tiers. But moving on to Rita Tibetans. And I've got to be honest about Rita Tibetans. Like before, I've never really been that much into them because I've always got the impression it's not the type of music I would be into. But I've always really enjoyed them live for some reason, and tonight was no exception. I think the performance of a Ku bar here, a Ku Stockton here, is kind of won me over a lot more because there's so much brilliance that kind of performance. Even got some bloody bongos out, which was cool. Bloody damn good bongo player there, Luke. But it was a really cool set. It's got more of an old school kind of feel to it, in regards to like kind of like indie rock sound. I suppose a bit more of a kind of a lad rock kind of sound, maybe. It's kind of influenced by the likes of Kasabian, maybe. Like I said, it's obviously the genre I go to, so I'm not really good at talking about it. Like I said, I always enjoy watching them live, and they're always like a cool band. So yeah, overall it was absolutely fun night, really cool night. I left with a few set lists, a couple of set lists. I think I've got Gone Tomorrow and ZELA's. I left with a poster which I took off the wall, and let's have a look. Oh yeah, I also got a bunch of stickers from the Support Act podcast. So thank you for all that. I thought that was awesome. They're all over my scrapbook now. So yeah, one's on the back cover, the latest scrapbook. Just massive Support Act podcast sticker. Looks pretty cool. But yeah, another fantastic night at Ku Stockton. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play 5 of the songs, one from each band. So enjoy. So as many of you may know, if you do know me, that is, I go to the cinema quite a lot. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to talk about the movies I go to see at the cinema. I've been to 2 this year already, so I'm going to have a quick, no spoilers by the way, I won't be giving away any kind of spoilers. So I'm just going to have a quick chat about them and tell you which movies I recommend. So the first movie I saw of the year was the new Godzilla -1. I wasn't really expecting much from a Godzilla movie because I've never really been that much into them, but I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was so much fun. The design of Godzilla just looked absolutely incredible. The old school kind of music that they've used throughout the film was really cool. The story was very interesting. It is a Japanese film, so it's all subtitled. So if that's not for you, then maybe the film won't be for you. But it's for me, and I absolutely loved every second of that film. So I definitely recommend checking it out. 4.5 stars from that one. I put my Letterboxd. And the second movie I saw was, it's a Night Swim. Basically a movie about a haunted swimming pool. I give this one 3 stars because I think it took itself too serious. I mean, it's a movie about a haunted swimming pool. It didn't really need to take itself that serious. The family didn't really feel like they had that much chemistry. They did in the scary scenes, but when it comes to the more dramatic scenes, basically it's about the I would tell you what Godzilla was about, which Godzilla, you know what that's about. But it's basically this man, he's a baseball player. He gets an injury, so the family moved to this place that has this kind of massive swimming pool at the back for kind of rehab. But the swimming pool kind of starts healing the dad, but it also starts attacking the rest of the family, kind of thing. The horror scenes were absolutely amazing, really cool scenes. I watched this one on 4DX as well. The 4DX didn't really play that much of a role in it, if I'm going to be honest with you. Um, but overall, it's worth watching. It's a type of horror movie you're shot in the middle of your movie marathon, I guess. If you're doing a Halloween marathon or something, it's a movie you just kind of shot in the middle, then order some food or something while it's on. Um, but yeah. If it sounds like your kind of thing, check it out. Haunted swimming pool. It just needed to take itself a little less serious. That's all. Um, but yeah, that's a very short segment, but I need to fill it in time, don't I? Like I promised, there's going to be a track of the week on this now. That TTT side track of the week. And the first one is going to be the new song by Stock Image. And the song's called New Way. So, yep. It was released a couple of days ago. Well, a couple of days from me recording this. So let me just get some details on Stock Image now. See if there's anything coming up first before I play it. Yeah, New Way. That picture of the pop funk call I did it himself. I'm looking for his Instagram now. So, the 17th of February, here we go. Electronic assortment at the Lubberfeed. I'm not sure where that is. Newcastle, Lubberfeed, Newcastle. Alongside Soft Riot, Volcano Sisters, and Vigilant State. That's £7 a ticket. But yeah. I can't really see anything else. But yeah, that's it. This is the first ever track of the week with Stock Image. And thank you for listening. Goodbye.